Hi everyone, and welcome in. My name is Auntie Flame, and I just wanted to say thank you for joining me today on the YouTube channel Flicker a Fortune. Today's reading is a clarification reading from a YouTube short / TikTok we posted earlier today, in which you chose between two different colors. You could choose between purple or green, and this reading is going to do a much more comprehensive and in-depth look at why did we get those specific cards. But if you didn't happen to see the YouTube short, I don't want to leave you hanging. I'm going to go ahead and give you an opportunity to choose just like everybody else. There is a little bit of a caveat though. Something was already decided without you being here. So go ahead and choose for me. We have purple, and I'll give you a couple of seconds to decide, or green. Okay, those were the two colors that were chosen. Purple or green. All right. Now we're doing the reading on the purple right now, okay, everyone? And when we did the initial card pull, we got the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is an absolutely fantastic card to get, especially if you're starting something new, you're on a new journey, or you're realizing that it's time to chase your dreams, because that is what the Nine of Cups is. Nine of Cups is about chasing your dreams. So I'm going to knock 3 times like I'm knocking on a door. I think that was 3, just in case. And then shuffle until I feel like they've been shuffled appropriately. Oh, and any cards that happen to jump out, which we got the 6 of Cups. Any cards that happen to jump out, we do take those as specific signs from the universe. This is a little bit different from collective readings in the sense of I'm trying to get all of messages in all at once. No, if you're hearing this message, it's meant for you. This is not a collective reading in the sense of take a piece, pick apart. No. If the majority of the message is not resonating with you, that's okay. It wasn't meant for you. And sometimes that's a good thing. Here we're seeing I think a return to our roots with that 6 of Cups coming in. I think it's like we're trying to heal. We're trying to honor the child within, so to speak. And it has something to do with the dream that we're chasing. Maybe we're seeing healing along that journey. Oh, I got another jumper. 8 of Swords. What did you do to yourself? Or what happened to you? I know, I'm getting first the feeling that something happened to you, and then I'm getting the feeling that you're still trapped in it, even though it may not be relevant. This is Swords, right? Yeah, I think this is you restricting yourself, lovely. Because if you can see in the cards themselves, you see the Swan, she's completely trapped. She can't move. And I think that's you right now, feeling like you're trapped. You can't move. You have to address the foundations before moving forward. You have to get everything perfect, picture perfect. And that's not what I'm seeing you here. I'm not seeing this picturesque, this picture perfect version of you. No, I see someone who's so beautifully human, but so completely just not paying attention, I guess, not understanding their own impact. We have Page of Cups. So again, a lot of Cups energy, a lot of new emotional energy coming here. Page of Cups, I think that this is basically saying, don't worry about perfection. We are all students of our emotions. We are all students of our own humanity. And you're really caught up on small things. And there's a lot of excuses, kind of. I don't want to be mean or rude, but with all due respect, there's a lot of excuses tied up to your journey, like up until this point. And I think we've had certain things happen to us. Completely valid and legitimate things have happened to us. But there's a point in our lives, in our day-to-day, that we have to take responsibility. And we have to decide what power the past holds over us, whether it be a specific incident, specific person. We have to decide after a certain point what power do they still hold over us. And I think you're kind of coming on the other end of that fog. You didn't realize you were giving power to that situation, that trauma, that thing that you went through. Again, that very legitimate, very valid thing that you went through. I think what the cards are saying, though, is we really need to be honest with ourselves. Because how much of this event is impactful of our daily lives? Or do we make it impactful on our daily lives? So we got a little bit of a blockage here. It looks like, again, it started initially as legitimate trauma, but then has kind of hung around. I feel very stagnant, like just not wanting to move. We're wanting to chase our dreams, but we're kind of feeling cold. We're kind of feeling like left out. It's almost like we had an image or a thought or an idea in our head, and the world was very sure to show us that's not what our expectations were not what was actually happening. And as I was shuffling again, I got one more. I got the 5 of Pentacles. So we've already got a full little set right here. And I understand you're feeling lost right now. I understand that you... I want to remind you that in this case, this is fear that was initially rational, that has grown into something irrational with the power that you gave it. I truly think that you have a lot more power than you realize over your situation, over your life. You have a lot more life than what you've kind of been giving off. I feel like you've been holding back. You've just been quietly contemplating this dream, and you're like, yeah, it'll happen. Good things will happen. And it's like, you have to make your things happen, lovely. You have to put the pedal to the metal and do something for your life. Now, with this 9 of Cups energy, it's surrounded by a lot of sad heartbreak and past. So it's like, I wonder if you're meant to share your story with the world, one way or another. You know? Page of Pentacles. New journey. I feel, though, that you need to just be careful about your approach to people. Page of Pentacles energy is very sharp and witty and funny and genuinely charming. However, can be incredibly vindictive, immature, and just not necessarily a good vibe to bring into the next phase. Because I feel like you're trying to move on to the next phase of yourself, up level, maturity, all of that good stuff. And that's kind of telling me this with the Knight of Pentacles. We're expecting change, but it's coming so slow that it's almost like, are you expecting change, or are you going to make the change? I think that you need to make the change, because the changes are going to just happen. You know, I really feel like now's the time that you need to step up. You need to stop making excuses for yourself, because things are going to keep going slow. And it's up to you to build something out of that. It's up to you to take charge, take responsibility. I won't say take accountability and responsibility of your healing, not responsibility of the situation. You only bear what you are meant to bear. Don't absorb what burdens you're not meant to absorb. Card pop out. Ooh, the Magician. So this tells me right off the rip. I shouldn't even say right off the rip, but coming on the other end of the healing, it's a slow process. That's okay. You're making progress, though. That's amazing. Some people don't even address their emotional depth or healing anything. With the Magician popping up, and again, I haven't even actually laid any cards down. These are all just popping out. So with the Magician here, it's saying, like, we get through the healing, we move, we keep going, we keep rolling, we keep rocking. But we have to make it. It's our responsibility to do the thing, to chase the 9 of Cups. So what is it that you've been wanting, my friend? What is it that you've been wanting? Because after you let go of a lot of what's been holding on to you, and you've been holding on to, once you start to put a lot of those burdens down, and you stop absorbing what's not meant for you to absorb, big changes are happening. And when I say big changes are happening, I mean huge. I'm seeing celebration. I'm seeing things moving quick, so very quick. And It's met with a bit of a warning too. I get this like gut feeling to remind you. Oh, okay, interesting. I get this gut feeling to remind you to be wary with that success and how fast it appears. And then we have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords energy. I'm really seeing that this is, while life hasn't treated you kindly, you're not done. You're not through learning. You're not through growing. You're going to have a time of adversity. You're still going to have to lean on the resilience that you have built. And that's okay, because what I'm getting the feeling is we haven't even gotten to a point of our lives where we can trust what a dream is for ourselves. We've been taking care of everybody and going through these experiences, and just a lot has been going on for us in our psyche here. And again, very valid experience. I don't want to take any bit of validity from what you've been through. What I do want to say, though, is I do feel like there's a bit of a drag, a bit of delay, and it's really shown in between the Page of Pentacles, or excuse me, the Page of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, because then the Page is immature, the Knight is slow. The Knight of Pentacles, it may be bringing a message, but it's the slowest message in the deck. What is the message you're receiving? Well, your message is you can do it. Just do it. Just do it, darling. Because you're always there's never going to be a perfect time. There's just not. And that's okay. You don't have to have a perfect time. What you need to do is show up consistently. Do the thing. Start working. What is it that, have you even figured out what this Nine of Cups is? Some people are very unlucky in the sense of when I tell them what is their wish, and then they can't sit there and articulate. You have an idea. You have the wish energy. So let's actually draw some cards now. Unless anything else needs to pop up at this time. No, I feel like this next little bit is going to be pretty cut, clear, and concise. I didn't anticipate this reading to be so short, honestly. So I do hope that you enjoy the commentary for the candle flaming. Three of Swords reversed. Lovely. We are carrying so many things. I see it. And you know what, though? I think the reason we're having such a hard time letting go is because you don't know any other way. These are the methodologies that you have taken your entire life that have served you. This heartbreak, this carrying, this not dealing with it, it served you. It has served you before. And I think you're really struggling on why isn't it working this time? Why can't I go back to everything being fine and just surface level, and it's okay. And I think it's because you woke up. You stopped deluding yourself a little bit. You stopped pretending. You didn't want to pretend anymore. And I don't think that's you, the conscious version of you. I think that's your subconscious calling out to you. I think your subconscious is kind of saying like, hey, we've been through a lot. But despite however much you've been through, and again, it's helped you, I think that you need to focus more on the strength that carried you rather than the exact tactics. Ooh, and then this just popped out. Two of Wands. You're deciding. It's crazy. You're deciding whether or not to focus on the tactics or to focus on the actual strength. You're debating on what to leave behind, what to bring forward with you because of whatever this energy, this Nine of Cups energy, the thing that you desperately want. It could be something as simple as a half-formed dream of, I just want stability, or I just want to not have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. Whatever that thing is for you, though, I think you're trying to figure out way too hard. You're trying to figure out I guess the most perfect version of who you should be, and in order to achieve that dream. And don't worry about all that. I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself right now. Ooh. Yeah, I think you're being a little irrational with yourself. King of Wands in reverse. I think King of Wands in reverse is saying like, it's okay to have passion. It's okay don't let that passion turn and bleed into perfection. You know, don't let that passion be sterilized by perfection, because, you know, what is perfection? Well, and, you know, beauty is in of the eyes of the beholder. What is beautiful to you? Nine of Cups in reverse fell out. Not as, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty surprised with how many cards are falling out in this reading, because that to me tells me that this was a really good idea. You needed to hear this, and I think I needed to hear a little bit of it too. Not for personal reasons or personal gain, but to get a little bit of perspective on who my audience is going to be and where you may need a little bit of support. I think you've thinned yourself out so much that you can't keep your word. You have too many obligations, too many energies. And you know what the worst part is? I don't even think it's like physical obligation. I feel like it's spiritual, because a lot of this reading is very emotionally coded. I'm wondering if, and I feel like this makes sense to you, I'm wondering if this energy that you're struggling with is a lot of the energy that shaped you, shaped who you are, shaped how you perceive the world. And I think that's why it's so hard for you to change, because it's almost like you expected the world to be a certain way, and you're really disappointed on how things are turning out. You're really disappointed on the reality. I think you were very naive in a good way, and a naive innocence, you know, just didn't know how it all worked kind of way. And then we've moved on to this aspect, and it's like, it woke you up. It really did. But fear not, my dear, with the Page of Wands. It's here. Do the thing. Again, the reading summarized thus far, and I'm going to do my tarot or my karma cards with this too. It all keeps boiling down to find out what the thing is. If you don't already know, some people don't, some people do, but find out what your dream is, your Nine of Cups energy. Find out what that is for you. You've been through some stuff, and I genuinely do not want to take that away from you. You have been through the ringer, my dear, but you've been out of the ringer for a while. It's just you keep perpetuating that harm to yourself. And the cards are basically saying, like, you can step out. It's tough. It almost feels like you're stepping away from security in a sense, because of familiarity within your patterns. But I highly, 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 highly encourage you to find out what the Nine of Cups is and go for it. Small, meaningful steps, small, meaningful actions towards that. A little bit at a time, just a little, you know. And this specific deck, you separate into 3 piles, you shuffle, and it gives you 3 lines of wisdom. That's the fastest way I can describe it. So, and I'm going to shuffle it up really good. So go ahead and do that. In the meantime, of course, if this brand of tarot seems to resonate with you, if you appreciate the candle reading that's going to be going alongside it and the little commentation after, I encourage you to just subscribe. And this is an energy exchange. You know, I am doing work here. This would be something that I would be charging somebody. So I would greatly appreciate it if you took that energy in exchange and said, yeah, well, maybe not financially, I can't help, but, you know, I can comment, I can like, I can subscribe, and I can share. And every single step of those helps a small channel like me thrive. So thank you, and I appreciate every bit of effort that you put towards it. And of course, you know, I feel like this reading is going to reach the people that don't need to pick and choose. This is not a cherry picking situation. So again, if you feel like this is whatever this reading is to you, if it feels like, I would say like a 60% or 60%, like it doesn't resonate, 40% it does, then leave behind the whole thing, honey. It was not meant for you. This is like 60% or above. If it resonates, stick a while. All right. To end this part of the reading, for the purple reading, we end on The attraction of cooperation to perfect what makes you feel secure. Pleasure from decisions about support. Good times resulting from fairness shown by your home base or family. So, the first line off the top of my head, the attraction of cooperation to perfect what makes you feel secure. Again, that kind of boils into just do it. You're not going to do it perfectly. You don't have the right equipment. You're not going to listen, just do it. And it's okay. You know why? Because pleasure from decisions about support. I think this is you building your support system. You getting a better idea of who's on your team and who you can ask for help, who you can rely on, who you can really, truly kind of figure this dream out. You know, sometimes it does take that perspective outside of ourselves. And if you wanted a more individual reading, I'd be more than happy to explore that perspective with you. But I think this is saying that within your immediate circle, somebody's going to help give you perspective. And it may not be me, it may be somebody else that help kind of clicks it into place, but I genuinely, truly hope you hear me when I say, do it. Do it. Mm-hmm. I genuinely believe in you. And then finally, good times resulting from the fairness shown by your home base or family. Again, this is all about you building support, building everything. It's building your dream. This is building everything. You're in the building phase of your life. You're having to let it go of a lot all at once. These are things and memories and tactics and everything that has served you up until this point that you didn't know how to survive without. And now we're having to survive, and it's scary. It's almost like this unfamiliar territory. It makes you really homesick, and homesick in the sense of for family, not for the home itself, but for the support, the family, the love, which is wonderful. Because with the Nine of Cups energy, and again, what this whole reading is centered around is finding that completion for yourself of wishes come true, almost celebration, whatever you need to look at it as. So that is for the purple reading. And I genuinely like what I'm seeing here. I see a lot of good things. Again, you've genuinely been through some stuff. I'm not taking that away from you. What I am taking away from is how long you've let it impact you. How long you've carried it unnecessarily. Because I truly feel like a lot of this you have carried unnecessarily. Okie dokie. So, I will probably do at least one more call to action by the end of this video because it is going to be a little bit longer. Now we're on part 2 of the video, the Hermit in reverse. So Hermit in reverse was for the green pile. That was a card pull. So we're in the Hermit in reverse energy. That's isolation. You have isolated yourself. And, well, you know, let me pull the cards. See what the cards got to say. Did I knock? I knocked them out. That's what I'm gonna say. So the Hermit in reverse. What can you tell me? I feel like you entered the isolation. You thought you were doing right. You thought you were doing right for yourself. You thought you were doing right for the situation. But in fact, you just dimmed your own light. I'm sorry, darling. You dimmed your own light. And I feel the sadness, just the resignation in your chest of accepting it and having to accept it now. Alright, no cards seem to be popping out during the shuffle, so we'll go ahead and get going. 10 of Swords. Starting off strong. Okay. I feel like I need to tell you this. Friend to friend. You need to talk to somebody. I don't care if you don't believe in therapy. Get a confidant. Get a friend. Talk to somebody for the love of God. Because, and again, I wouldn't say 10 of Swords inherently means talk to someone. Actually, I think it means more of like transition and change. But I genuinely talk to someone. You've got to talk to somebody. And I think that's the Hermit energy coming through very strongly. Because you've lost hope. This transition period that you have entered in this reversed Hermit energy, you you lost a lot of your hope along the way. You have reversed 10 of Cups here. Like, this was a time that you thought you were already going to be celebrating. And in fact, you've been breaking free of manipulation. Magician and the Seven of Swords in reverse. I truly, genuinely feel like you've been breaking free of manipulation for a while. And that, I think, gently, and I mean this with love, you were misguided in thinking that solitude was your best option. I think you don't understand that the version of yourself today is a far more sociable creature than how you imagine yourself. I feel like you cut yourself off, and I'm a little lost for words. You cut yourself off because you thought you were making the right choice for everyone involved. And in fact, you were the only one who hurt from it. Nobody benefited. No one benefited. What I'm getting from this. 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. When are you going to start? Like, both these readings are kind of coming out to be a little bit of the same. I think here, though, well, the reading with the 9 of Cups is basically saying you need to chase that dream. And this one is saying, like, get out of your head. Get out of that solitude. This was fabricated. You fabricated this. Because I feel like that was their way to cope in the past. And I think that's where you thought you were going to be successful. And cards are basically saying no. And look, we've got the Hierophant popping out. I'll go ahead and add him to the pile. But I genuinely feel like, yeah, I genuinely feel that you're incredibly misguided. And I almost feel sad for you. Like, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of people that you could have met, a lot of relationships you could have built. But, I mean, you know, on that same breath, you were kind of going through it. So it was like those relationships may not have been the right timing for you. And the version of you now that's stepping into this huge transition, that's stepping away from systems that have served you for a while. I feel like you're nervous, but you're excited because at this point, that's all of where your hope has landed. You're like, man, it can't get any worse than this. And it's kind of heartbreaking because you deserve a lot more. You genuinely, I see the spark, I see the fire behind those eyes, and it's just something so beautiful. Oh, we've got a couple that fell out. We've got the 7 and Knight of Cups with the 4 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. You're stepping into a steadiness, and you haven't ever felt steady before. It's actually genuinely crazy because you've had to been so picky and choosy about certain things, and you've seen messages that were, or that are usually interpreted positively, you view very suspiciously. And cards are saying, like, hey, it's okay to celebrate. You're going to get that stability that you need. You just got to be dedicated to what you're going to do. And last but not least, 5 of Pentacles in reverse. I know 5 of Pentacles, right, that's Pentacles, yeah. 5 of Pentacles typically is about being, like, out in the cold, you know, being shut out. Off the top of my head, give me a second. It's got to come to me. You need to reevaluate your priorities. I think that where you're starting, and we're, again, genuinely in good faith, I think you're a little bit misguided, and that you have other issues, other priorities kind of pulling at you all at once. I think that I think that you need to address it. I really do, because at the end of the day, stepping into something that's so new, it feels raw. I feel like you've been rubbed raw, and you're afraid to start because the wound, like picking at an old wound, it bleeds. You're not feeling great. But sometimes imperfection is the best place to start because you can only improve from there. I think that's a gentle reminder. You may feel like it's the worst, everything sucks, bleh. Don't. It's okay. You have the power. Even if you don't feel like it right now, you have mighty power over your own life. Okay? And to end the reading, again, we're going to do another batch of the karma cards. Let me go ahead and shuffle them up 3 piles, get them all nice and twisted up. Planets, signs, and houses. Just to give us a little bit of wisdom on the reverse hermit energy. Coming out of our shell, stepping into life. Another minute or two. And again, while I have you guys, and I would love for you guys to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the usual. And you guys can find me over at www.flickerafortune.com. That is the host. I haven't decided as far as what community is going to look like or what we're going to build here exactly, but I want Flicker A Fortune again to be some sort of support, to be some sort of way to help each other. Not to be a constant presence, not something constantly available, but definitely available when needed. All right. We have for the reversed hermit, resurrect leadership, your faith. That kind of hit me. It hit me good. I think that faith in general makes us stronger, right? Faith in general. And I feel like while I personally don't necessarily prescribe to organized religion, I believe in faith. I believe in faith towards God, towards Jesus, towards all the deities, all the prophets. I believe in that level of faith. And I think that there's a lot of good leadership skills that these prophets and of course gods have. They have incredible leadership skills. And not only that, but I feel like it's how you move through the world, how your moral compass is directing you. This is what this is saying. It's resurrect leadership, your faith. Where is your moral compass leading you? And how is your faith in yourself? Because again, these cards before were all talking about your insecurities, your things, not necessarily God, but faith in yourself. So get to the heart of the creativeness of hidden tendencies. I think that's saying in the little moments where you do have those sparks of creativity, write it down. Oh my God, write it down. Do not put that pressure on your brain of, I'll remember. That's not fair. Your poor brain's already doing its best, remembering what the times tables are. You know what I mean? Knowledge that was ingrained in you as a child. Do me a favor, write it down. Because if not, it'll get lost. Those genuine, smart ideas that you had, poof, gone. And then finally, do or die. You must do what you want to, and large institutions or overwhelming events. You're going to have to get out of that comfort zone. Again, the Hermit reverse is solitary energy. It's chosen solitude. This is saying you have got to get out of that comfort zone. You don't have that luxury anymore. What it is that you want to do, or however it is that you want to be within the world, the hermit saying, or the reverse hermit saying, your solitude isn't helping you anymore. We really need to kind of re-examine what helps us, because I think you'll find a lot more, I think you'll find a lot more peace, a lot more happiness, and a lot more excitement with other people. Just a clarification, with other people as in community, with other people as in friends, with other people as in maintaining the relationships you currently have and adding just a little bit more. Okay? So I really genuinely appreciate you guys joining me today. And I'm just debating. I think after this, there might be like a little bit like in between each reading, there might be like a little drop off for the, I'm blanking, the candles that I did earlier. So I did a candle flame reading alongside of this reading. I did that in the energy of each individual. So for green, you'll be able to see green. For purple, you'll be able to see purple. At the end of the day, though, darling, we are our own everything. We're our biggest advocate. We're our biggest everything. I know it's really difficult in this world. It's not the world that we were promised, like at least my generation and the generation, honestly, previous to us, prior to and previous. We were all promised something totally different, and it makes things difficult. It makes it easier to want to accept excuses than living in the harsh reality of the world. But when I tell you, once you stop feeding excuses, once you step out of denial, a lot changes in your life. And you may not be ready for all those changes all at once, but I'm very proud that you've decided to try. I think I know you know what I'm saying there. I'm very proud that you've decided to try. And this time, you're sticking with it. This is not just something that, I'm going to make some changes and they're surface level. No, this is truly foundational on both ends, on both Nine of Cups and this Hermit energy. These are very foundational changes. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported my journey thus far, who can't maybe be there physically for me, but who's always there and ever available just anytime that I need to reach out to them. So thank you very much. I want to say, please look forward to Flicker a Fortune as we build the community and we learn what it means to be a little bit more human in these modern times. I feel like we've lost a little bit of our humanity at the demands of modern times. So if that sounds something interesting to you, or if you're just interested in a reading or my collectives or anything like that, feel free, again, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm really excited to bring you guys along this journey. I'm really excited for you guys to see where we're going to grow. Go and grow. And that being said, my Nine of Cups energy, I guess I should share a little bit with everyone. My Nine of Cups, because I did pick purple, I'm not gonna lie. My Nine of Cups energy, though, was making a connection in every single country, preferably more than one. But I think that if I can help one person in every single country, I've done my life's work. I can help just one flicker, one soul burn a little bit brighter. I think I've done something right. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, trust your flicker, follow your fortune. Flicker a Fortune.